Here's how to generate consistent, hyper-realistic AI influencers using Nano Banana Pro. This is Google's new image beast powered by Gemini 3.0. It is using world context and is really great in text accuracy and anything that has to do with anything world related. So you can refer images by specific coordinates or specific moments in history and on the internet, and it's going to use Google's context to edit those images off of the internet and feed them to your final prompt or your final generation. So all these images that you're seeing were all generated using Nano Banana Pro, and on the left side you can see the release of Nano Banana, I think 3-4 months ago, which is Google's first image model, and now this is the new type of hyper-realism with Nano Banana Pro. And I really want you to stop me if you've seen this before, but you generate a stunning AI character on Midjourney or on Flux, and they look perfect. The first image is really looking great. You try to generate them again, then in a coffee shop, and suddenly they look like their cousin or a stranger or an alien. The biggest bottleneck in the AI influencer game isn't generating one good image, it's generating hundreds of images that look like the same exact person. If you want to build an audience that connects with your character, you need an identity consistency and you need the soul in your machine. You need to build the soul of your LLM. And I like to create a super simple graphic of this, that a machine having a soul. So these are examples of characters that look, pretty horrible. They have plastic look, they look unrealistic, the backgrounds are not how they should look like. It's not consistent, and it just has that plastic look that screams AI generated. And today, I'm not just showing you the tools, I want to give you my personal blueprint. I call it the DNA framework. It is a simple to follow plug-and-play system. I built to lock in your character's consistency across any model, whether it's the new Nano Banana Pro, Seedream, Midjourney, or VEO 3.1. I'm going to show you how to build a character with DNA framework, how to make them talk with VEO 3.1, and I'm giving you the DNA prompts for absolutely free, so let's dive in. So the first things first, most people fail because they prompt from scratch every single time. A blonde girl in a cafe, a blonde girl at the gym. This is an absolute recipe for disaster because you need a simple, predictable blueprint to solve those problems. Here's how to use the DNA framework. So we're gonna screenshot this and input it to your favorite LLM. You need to figure out your gender, age, ethnicity, hairstyle, hair color, clothing style, mood and emotion, environment setting, camera angle, lighting, style, and some extra notes. You're going to run this through your system role. You can go ahead and copy and paste this to your favorite LLM. So this is now the DNA template. It breaks down your character into immutable traits. You define the age, gender, ethnicity, and hairstyle once, but it also defines the vibe, the mood, the lighting, and the camera angle of your AI character. But here's really the unlock. We don't just feed this DNA framework to any LLM. We first feed it through a system role. This tells the LLM you're a professional AI prompt engineer specializing in cinematic prompts. And why is that important? It is because the LLM takes your right list of traits and turns them into a single cohesive sentence or a prompt. It locks in your technical descriptors like shot on 35 mm or shallow depth of field completely automatically. You just define the character once and the DNA framework generates endless, consistent variations of your character almost on the spot. Now let's build our photo dump. So we're going to start off by building a passport-style photo of your character and defining 4 main emotions and adding them to your character. So the first one is male with pink hair wearing winter Russian hat, passport-style photo. And this is something that we got out of it. So the first 2 images are passport-style images, and then we fed that image as a reference to then build our emotion sheet. So emotions go from sitting, numb, laughing, or weeping, such as profound grief, tears, screaming over skin texture. You want to get these super specific emotions that you can then go ahead and use on your hooks or whenever you're building some sort of a story with your character. And the next thing is building kind of a more cohesive identity of your character. What is the character wearing? What's the character listening to? So you want to build the stage direction and the culture of your character. And whenever you look at how to build cultures, you see that one of the most important things is, of course, music. So what kind of music does your character relate to? What kind of music is your character connected to? You know, because if your character is connected to young people that have fashion sense and have, listen to rap or hip hop music, it is a way different persona of a character than if you are targeting single moms with, X, Y, and Z problems. So you want to have this super defined, and that your culture really meets with your customers or prospects you're trying to reach with your storytelling content. And once we build this, our first photo dump, we want to go ahead and animate these videos. So we can either use VEO 3.1 or Kling Edit. It is a brand new model from Kling, a Chinese company that has absolutely amazing product releases. But for start, we're going to start with VEO 3.1 that you can access through Flow, Higgsfield, or FreePic. So you can either go with any of the aggregators or just access it directly from Google's Flow UI, where you basically are going to come here, you're going to choose frames to video, and you're going to prompt your character. So for example here, a lot of the times when I'm building lip syncing stuff, you can just kind of have a super simple workflow of man says, and then you put it into apostrophe, and you say, hey world, this is a test, I'm not real, designed by Max Motion. And whenever you are trying to finish the sentence, you want to have it again in these apostrophes so that the AI understands what is he supposed to say. And we just click run. It should take anywhere from 30 seconds to 1 minute for this video to generate, because we have chosen the fast option here as well. To give you a super quick rundown of what I use, I go to frames to video, I inputted the first frame of my character, passport style, and then I choose VEO fast. I go portrait mode, number of outputs just 1, and we generate and we let it run. And we got our results back. Let's check it out.
Hey world, this is a test. I'm not real. Designed by Max Motion.
Pretty cool. So now if you want to go a step further, you can kind of prompt things that are happening inside of that scene. So if this is a hook, you can add something like a monkey jumps onto his head as he's talking. And you can also reference it to a specific word and that action tied to. So for example, monkey jumps onto his head as he's talking, as he's saying, and you can go ahead and say, this is a test. And once he says this sentence, it's going to generate that specific. So this is in short on how to create a video or get your lip syncing right using VEO 3.1, building your initial library of assets. You can go ahead and start building your character off the ground. Right guys, I'm just editing this video. The outro is super bad, so I have to do it again here so I can ship this out to you guys super fast. If you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe, and drop a comment. What do you want to see in the next video? I really want to know. I want to grow this channel. You're super early and we're just getting started. So subscribe, and yeah,